question is, the House do now adjourn, and I call the honourable member for Chifley.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. Now, you know winter is coming, and you also know what comes around the corner with winter. And on March 5, the NRL season begins again, and I think I've spotted you once or twice wearing the jersey of a team that we both admire, the Parramatta Eels. And in early April, another game that apparently attracts attention of people like the member for Higgins will start, and I refuse to name it here at the dispatch box, but that starts on April 2. So a lot of excitement. People like to go to the games. I certainly love watching the Eels play, and I've seen the Wanderers and the Kings and many other teams participate in sport. Live sport is one of the great experiences you can have, but not everyone can get to a game, and they do prefer to watch on TV. And certainly I remember when I was watching the grand final last year, in 2014, I was staggered that you still could not get on your primary channel the main sporting events of this country on high definition. And it has been something that I've raised publicly at the time, and I was very critical of the fact that free-to-air channels don't do this, but they commendably and patiently explained it was not entirely their fault. And they certainly do feel the anger and the ire of footy fans, and in particular I note this one on the fan site Big Footy that said, "In this modern era with billion-dollar TV rights, it's nothing short of a joke that our sport's biggest day is shown in standard definition. Some might say, get over it, or it's a first world problem, but this is a massive industry and the great game is let down by not being telecast in high definition. Fair call. So, why are we being so poorly done by?" Now, if you go to the industry group Free TV, they'll explain that the reason for this is that there is a requirement that the primary channel be in standard definition in this country, and under the anti-siphoning laws, you have to show a lot of these big events straight away on that primary channel. So that has an impact in terms of what people can watch. Now, some may say that not everyone's capable of getting a HDTV. Well, that doesn't actually appear to be the case, because if you look at nearly every single capital city in this nation, over 90% of homes have got a high-definition TV. So it's not the case that people will miss out if we change this over. And it's also probably worth noting that analogue TV has been switched off in this country, and it's the equivalent of putting E10 fuel in your car when 98 octane is freely available. Now, in December of 2013, Free TV Australia wrote to Minister Turnbull to change the laws to allow HDTV on the primary channels. And in actual fact, they have proposed, this is a quote from Julie Flynn, who's the CEO of Free TV Australia, they have proposed, the government, that we get rid of that restriction that we can't do HD on the main channel. But, as she rightly points out, this is something they could do tomorrow. Just do it. It's bleedingly obvious. Now, this discussion paper was released in January, and they're asking the industry to respond by March. Now, as the Industry Association rightly points out, this could be done tomorrow. You don't need a discussion paper, and you certainly don't need the red tape of a discussion paper to do it. Now, self-made or self-described Messiah, the Minister for Communications, has been talking about a lot of things outside his portfolio and gracing us with his wisdom, and he's also shown that he, by all accounts, is able to bring people together of all different walks. In fact, he can bring people together to him that don't actually like him to agree with things that he's proposing. So I figure, given that he's got these great persuasion and lobbying skills, you would expect that he would be able to deploy them in a way that the public would appreciate, and I certainly think the public would appreciate that we're able to change the law, to cut the red tape and make sure our sports are in high-definition glory. It is the least that we could expect in this day and age, particularly when we are able to see, for example, sports like the World Cup that had been shown on SBS, high definition, and ESPN in high definition on subscriber TV, but certainly I think that the bulk of the public and those that don't have subscriber TV should be entitled to see something that in this day and age and in other parts of the world are freely available, and you would expect a country as great as ours to be able to show the sports they love, go the Eels and enjoy the rest of 2015.